And just while they come up, I'll show just a few resources we use. Old Story New by Marty Machowski. This is the easiest starter guide for doing family devotions. How many of you have used this or have seen it at least, have at some level? This is the book you need to start with. I mean, it really is super simple. So sometimes we use it. That's one of them. We don't happen to be this time, but we are right now. And I'm really not just using this because Jim Hamilton is here, but we really are right now using this book right now. So all we're going to do is just do exactly the family devotion like we did this past week, and just go through that unrehearsed. Nobody's been really rehearsed on this or anything else except that we're doing this. So you never know what happens. One other resource we have, this is from Sojourn Kids. We use it sometimes, particularly for the catechism questions on it, that we use it for mostly for the catechism questions on it. So with that, we'll just go ahead and go for it just as we normally would on that. So, all right. Who's ready to remember these? God created all that is. We've been going through this. Therefore, all that is. Good job. Adam and Eve wanted to be there. Yeah, you're my memorizer that you got to memorize. Judgment to the snake. God, do you remember? Good job. And hope in Adam's heart. So mother of the living, he named his, for her seed is the source of, remember? Life. You forgot. It's okay. People never. Good job. Land, seed, and blessing, God promised to Abram, and the nations also would be blessed in him. Good job. There are two youngers who are memorizing this. So, from Egypt, God, his people, do you remember? Saved, and at Sinai, the law he gave. Good job. Then by God's power, the land. But then, you remember? They're good. They forsook. Good job. God raised up David as their king. God's rich mercy he did. Remember? Sing. God, David's son forsook the. All right, good job. So that's as far as we've gotten in this, and so we go through that first. And this is Epiphany, the time of Epiphany. Can somebody tell me what Epiphany means? Anybody know? You know what Epiphany means? Do you remember? What does it mean, Hannah? Do you remember? It has to do with the wise men. That's right. Epiphany. Does anybody else remember what it means? All right. Epiphany means revealing, something that's revealed or shining. And it's the time when the message of Jesus went to people who weren't Jewish people, went out to people beyond the Jewish people's Epiphany. So let's look at Matthew chapter 2. Matthew chapter 2. Now, Hannah, I'm going to give you the evil person's voice, okay? All right, you're going to be the evil person's voice. You're going to be Herod this time. And Skylar, can you be an angel? And then Mom is going to be the wise men, okay? All right, so I'll read this and let everybody jump in their part. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying,
Where is he who has been born the King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it arose and have come to worship him.
When Herod the king heard about this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They told him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for so it's written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a people who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and found out from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem. And Herod said,
Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I may go and worship him.
After listening to the king, they went on their way. And look, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them till it came to rest over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they offered him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. Now, when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said,
Rise, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt and remain there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him.
And he rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed to Egypt, and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet, Out of Egypt I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old or under, according to the time he had ascertained from the wise men. This was fulfilling what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping in loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. But when Herod died, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying,
Rise, take the child and his mother and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead.
And he rose and took the child and his mother and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there, and being warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee. And he went and lived in a city called Nazareth, that what was spoken by the prophets might be fulfilled, he shall be called a Nazarene. All right, so what happens? Where does God's word go that's a new place or a new way? Who hears the message of Jesus here? Who gets the message of Jesus? What type of people? Do you remember? They went beyond the Israelites went beyond the Jews to the who? To the people from the Gentiles. The people from the wise men came from far away, and so God's word went to them. So what happened when Herod realized that the wise men had went back another way? What did Herod do? He killed all the male children. And where then did Jesus and Joseph and Mary go? Not to Nazareth. They ended up in Nazareth. Where'd they go? Where'd they run away to? They came back to Galilee, but where'd they leave and go to? You remember? Egypt. They went to Egypt, and then they came back from Egypt, and that's when they went to Galilee and Nazareth. Okay. So, can you think of any other time in the Bible when there's a whole bunch of children killed and somebody leaves Egypt? Can you think of any other time in the Bible that happened? The Exodus. That's right. That's right. And so it's letting us know that Jesus is like Israel. He's like the Son of God, like Israel was God's son. And he went away, and he comes back, and it's letting us know that Jesus is almost like leading a brand new Exodus. He's like a brand new Exodus happening with Jesus. That he's leading all the people who trust in him out of being exiled away and toward the right relationship with God they ought to have in a brand new Exodus. That's what's happening here. It's letting us know that about Jesus. So that's what it's telling us about Jesus. So Jesus flees, goes to Egypt, then comes back, and he goes to Nazareth. All right. Who chooses the pray order this time? So we aren't going to actually do the prayer, but we'll do how we do it, okay? So, Skylar, will you choose the pray order? Who's going to pray?
Daddy, Mommy, and I.
Okay. Normally then we choose a pray order, and then we take prayer requests and pray. And so that's all we do. It's pretty simple in that. So, all right. Grab a cookie and head back to your seat then. All right. So